Hello, I'm Matt Guff from thehouse.com, and this is a Burton Genesis EST snowboard binding. The Genesis X is an all-mountain binding designed for intermediate to advanced level riders that want the comfort of a traditional Genesis but want a little bit more response. Now, the Genesis X sits in the stiffer end scale of that response rating, and that's because of that carbon-injected upper zone of the chassis. Now, there's two zones, an upper and a lower. The upper zone, of course, is separated by a living hinge. Now, this hinge actually kind of acts as kind of like a rolling piece that allows you to have a little bit more leeway when you're like rolling into those turns in the maximum and minimum points of velocity. It also helps you to ollie a little bit, and it's not so rigid, but the binding is quite a bit more stiff than the regular Genesis. Now, the high back is one thing that always amazes people when they get on this thing because of the kickback hammock. It resembles the heel hammock that you'll find in the Malavita. It cradles your foot, but this one actually rolls just a little bit easier than other bindings. So you still have this like very stiff, rigid, canted high back, but you also have this section, again, that kind of grips to the back of your boot and helps you to roll both laterally and medially inside that binding. Now there is a zero lean, so you don't have to have any forward lean, but if you want forward lean, there is a micro forward lean adjustment that's toolless, that's definitely easy to use. Now, one thing you may be wondering about this thing is like, I heard there's a spring bed. Yes. Now, for the 16 season, the only binding that was supposed to have the spring bed was the diode, but surprise, surprise, the Genesis X actually has it too. A spring bed kind of acts as a trampoline, as what Burton described. I wouldn't necessarily say it feels like a trampoline by any means, but there is a little bit of give to it. Notice that there's actually no kind of padding underneath, just kind of like this thing that kind of acts like almost like a deck. So like the base of it doesn't actually touch your board. But again, because this binding is an EST option, it's only compatible with boards that feature the channel system. So the mounting hardware is going to be on the lateral and medial sides of the binding, not directly underneath your foot. It allows for the board to actually flex a lot more naturally. Now, the thing that really makes these bindings so comfortable though is the straps. Now, both straps feature the double take buckles. They're great buckles that actually have a helical style exterior that allows the ratchet to like get fed into the ladder. And then on the internal side, there's actually teeth that keep the ladder in place inside of the buckle. Now, the ankle strap is called the hammock strap. It's a symmetrical hammock strap. It's mold injected. There's no stitching. It's not going to come loose. There's a stiffer spine to it, a little bit softer interior section. And then the toe strap is a super strap. Now, the super strap, again, is going to be mold injected. There's no pad. There's like no padding to it. There's no stitching, so it's not going to ever come undone. But there's another thing that you should know about it, though, is you can only wear it on the front of your foot. You can't wear it over the tops of your toes. Again, both straps do feature a toolless kind of adjustment, so you can center them on your boots. Now, overall, though, this is an unreal binding. If you want comfort and response, the Burton Genesis X is going to be that binding for you. Again, it'll probably be a really good matchup for any of those family tree boards out there. Make sure to check it out at thehouse.com.